Today we're going to practice factoring quadratics using the OMG Math method. The first equation we're given is x squared plus 5x plus 4. What we observe is that we're given a quadratic trinomial, meaning there are 3 terms. Our mission is to write in factored form. Factored form is when you see it in parentheses. Since it's a squared term, we're going to try and get it into 2 parentheses. Our game plan for doing this is to factor by grouping. That's the method we're going to be using for this. Factor by grouping is pretty simple. In order to group and factor, we have to have an even amount of terms. Right now we have 3 terms. So we need to take 3 terms and break it up into 4 so that we'll have 2 even groups of 2. In order to do that, we take our A times our C value and find the factors of A times C that add together to equal our B value. So in this case, our A value is 1, since there's no number attached to x squared. We take 1 times our C value. Remember, this is ABC. Our C value is 4. 1 times 4 is 4. Then we have to find the factors of 1 and 4 that add to give me 5. In this case, it's pretty simple. I know that if I take 4 and factor it down into 4 and 1, which is what I had to multiply to get it, 4 plus 1 equals 5. So now what I do when I'm factoring by grouping is I rewrite everything exactly the same, but instead of writing 5x for my middle term, I'm going to take 5 and break it up into 4 and 1, and then write my last term. So you can see the first term doesn't change, the last term doesn't change, but the middle term gets broken up into the 2 factors that you found. Then this is where we do our grouping. For our grouping, we're going to cut our equation in half. On the left side, we figure out a number and variable that goes into both x squared and 4x, something that we can divide evenly out of both terms. In this case, we could divide x off of x squared and 4x. X squared divided by x leaves us with just 1 x left. If we had 4 x's and we divided an x off, we're just left with the number 4. Over here, 1x and 4, the only thing you can factor out is 1. Make sure you always factor out something. So if there's no other number besides 1, make sure you factor it out, which will leave us with x plus 4. Our goal when doing this is to make sure our parentheses match. If our parentheses don't match, we either did something wrong or this problem is not factorable. Then we factor out the parentheses. So we're going to factor out the x plus 4. If we factor out the x plus 4, what's left is x and 1. And since the 1 is positive, we're going to write it as a plus 1. So we've factored this trinomial down into x plus 4, x plus 1. To check it, we can take it and FOIL it out and make sure that it gives us x squared plus 5x plus 4. So now that we've factored it and we've got it into our factored form, our 2 parentheses, we are done with this one. Our next problem is the same. We are going to factor this problem. The first thing we observe is that we are also given a quadratic trinomial. Our mission will be the same as the last one, write in factored form or in the parenthesis form. And our game plan is to factor this one by grouping as well. So again, we're going to take our A times C, we're going to multiply it together and find the factors that add to equal our B value. So our A value here is 5, our B value is 19, and our C value is 12. So I take 5 times 12, which gives me 60, and I need factors of 60 that add to give me 19. So when I go and I'm factoring 60, I know that 15 plus 4 adds to give me 19 and multiplies to give me 60. If you didn't know 15 and 4 were the factors right off the bat, you can take 60 and start writing its factors until you find ones that work. We can do 2 and 30, we can do 3 and 20, and so on. until you find the two factors that add to give you your b term. Again, when we go to write it out, we write everything the same, except for our middle term becomes the two factors, so 15x and 4x. Do not forget to put your x's on the middle terms, and then we write the last term. To factor by grouping, we're going to cut in half. On the left side, 5x and 15. You can factor a 5 off of both of the numbers. X squared and x, you can factor off an x. So when I go and divide, 5x squared divided by 5x leaves me with just an x. 15x divided by 5x leaves me with just 3. The x's cancel, and 15 divided by 5 is 3. Then on this side, I can factor a 4 out of 4 and 12. 4x divided by 4 leaves me with x. 12 divided by 4 leaves me with 3. Again, I need my parentheses to match, which these do match. So I write down x plus 3 as the factor that matches, and 5x plus 4 is what I had after I factored out. So I've written my answer in factored form in my parentheses, so this problem is finished as well. Thank you guys so much for watching my videos. If you want to get better at math, subscribe to my videos here. If you want more information on math, click on my website link here.